Welcome to the first ever Facebook Live morsels ever done. Take a seat. Find a place in your house, somewhere, ideally just with like enough floor space for you to practice. If you have a yoga mat, roll it out. I've definitely been practicing on the wood this entire week because I was too lazy to get my mat out. If you have any jewelry, take it off, put it on the side. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. The way I usually start this class is with a short kind of seated meditation, breathing, internal kind of reflection exercise, and it's a good idea to make sure you're sitting somewhere comfortable and like in a posture that you're able to hold for a couple minutes. So if you need a cushion, if that gives you more support, that's awesome. Some people like to sit on their knees. I don't find it's very comfortable, but everyone has their own kind of whatever works for you. Wherever you are, inhale, raising, lengthening your spine. Exhale, roll your shoulders down and back. Really create space between your ears. Inhale. You're going to just lift your chin a little bit, bring it back so that your entire spine up to the top of your head is in alignment. And exhale to close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths here with your eyes closed. Just allowing all the distractions of the outside world, all of the things you were just doing, thinking, worrying about, allow them to gently be released as you turn your focus inwards towards your body. Each inhale, opening your chest, expanding your lungs. Each exhale, allowing any tightness and tension to be released from your chest. Just breathing as deeply and as peacefully as you're able to right now. Once you feel like you have a bit of a sense of where you're breathing right now, I want you to try to notice where in your body you feel like your breath is centered. Do you feel like your breath is just coming from your throat and your entire body is kind of constricted? Is it maybe the center of your chest that expands and contracts with each breath? Wherever you are, I want you to bring your awareness down to the very base of your spine, about 2 inches below your navel. And you can bring your hand right there, kind of at the waistband of your pants. And try and allow your breath to start there, from the very base of your spine. Feeling your stomach open, expand as you inhale, and contract and release as you exhale. Allowing your breathing to slow and to deepen. Allowing each breath to be a little bit longer than the last. And you can use this time to check in with yourself. To ask yourself how you're feeling. If there are any emotions that you've been feeling in your body or your mind. This is a safe space and a good time to allow yourself to explore those. To try to put words to any sensations that you've noticed. If you feel any tightness in your chest or your throat, any gnawing in your stomach, allowing yourself to recognize that that is fear, anxiety. It's a normal emotion to have in times like these when everything's kind of uncertain. And acknowledging it is the first step in letting it go. Emotions are here to tell us what our body is feeling, what our minds need, what our life is like right now. Allow yourself to acknowledge each feeling that you have inside of you right now. Maybe it's joy because it's a beautiful day outside. Maybe it's gratefulness for all of the incredible people in your life. Maybe it's sadness for something you lost. Whatever it is you're feeling, give your body a few moments to acknowledge it. Allow yourself to feel. And while you're doing this, try to keep breathing deeply. Our breath is the other main tool that our body uses to communicate with us. Allow it to start from the very base of your spine. Elongate up through your torso and flow out of you. This is how we tell our bodies on a very physiological level that everything's okay. Deep and slow breathing, where the exhale is longer than the inhale, activates our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the part of us that's engaged when we're relaxed, when our bodies are resting and regenerating. And this is the part that we want to engage right now. And then when you feel ready, there's no rush. You can open your eyes and gently bring yourself back into the present moment. There's three things I always mention at the beginning of every class that I teach, because these are, I think, the three most fundamental body groups that you want to have in mind throughout your practice. The first body part that you want to kind of bring your awareness to is your toes, kind of your feet. So try to lift your toes up off the ground. So if your feet are down, you'll lift your toes up off the ground. And then bring your weight from the outside of your feet to the inside of your feet, just kind of rolling around on your feet. And I want you to come to a rest with your feet kind of pressing outward. So in a lot of our standing postures, your whole foot's going to be on the ground, but you really want to make sure you're pressing to the outside here, because that engages all of these muscles in the outsides of your legs and your glutes, your hamstrings, all these really strong muscles in your legs. It allows you to tap into that power and engages muscles that we typically don't use as much. So you'll notice that obviously the forward and backward motion are two completely different movements. So the forward motion is what's called internal rotation. And that's when your shoulders are moving forward and kind of together a little bit. And then the second one, the backwards arm circles, that's external rotation. That's when your shoulders are drawing down and away from your ears, kind of behind you, like opening up your chest a little bit. This, for most people, is kind of less comfortable because we spend most of our days with our shoulders in internal rotation, kind of like hunched over, typing on the computer, reading books, going on our phone. So in yoga, we always want to have external rotation of the shoulders. You always want to be creating space between your shoulders and your ears. External rotation, outside of your feet. The last thing, and this is a really important thing, put your finger on your belly button. And then, again, you're going to go just 2 inches below, kind of here on your waistband, right in between your hip bones. This area right at the very base of your stomach. And just gently press in with these muscles here in your lower core. And that movement of bringing your stomach in and up automatically straightens out your back and allows your body to be in complete and full alignment. Growing nice and tall, stomach in and up, shoulders down and back. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, sinking down. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to walk back into plank. Inhale here. Exhale to bend your elbows. Not quite touching your chest to the ground this time. Inhale to roll your toes over, coming up onto your toes. And you really want your legs to be active so that no part of your leg is touching the ground here. Ground is here, my knees are up here. Look up. Exhale. Press back into downward dog. Allowing your heels to reach back and down. Your shoulders to move out and away from your ears as much as possible. Maybe bending your elbows if you want a little bit more space there. 2. 3, breathing deeply. 4. 5. Inhale to walk your feet forward, lengthening halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, raise your arms, look up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to do 2 sun salutation Bs, like that, but like a little different. So, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, you're going to sink down into a squat. Inhale to raise your arms up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to step or jump your feet back into plank, and using that same exhale to bend your elbows. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Then here you're going to move your left foot next to your right, and then inhale to raise your right leg up, as high or as low as you want. Exhale to bring your right knee into your chest and your right foot to the ground in between your hands. I'm going to stay up on your back toe for this first one. Inhale to raise your arms. 3 deep breaths here. 1, 2, 3. Exhale to bring your hands down. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale to bend your elbows. Again, coming onto your knees if you want that extra support. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. So you're going to bring your right foot next to your left. Inhale to lift your left leg up. Exhale to draw your left knee into your chest and your left foot to the ground between your hands, staying up on your right toe in the back. And you want your leg to be at about a 90-degree angle. You don't want your knee to be in front of your ankle, but it's okay if it's a bit behind, really whatever's comfortable for you. Inhale, raise your arms. 1, 2, 3. Exhale to bring your hands down. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. 5 deep breaths here. And if at any point you get tired of downward dog, you can always come onto your knees. And then you want to keep that same activation in your arms, just kind of allowing your chest to open and your back to relax. 2 more deep breaths here. 4 and 5. Inhale to walk, or if you want, you can hop your feet up to the front of your mat, lengthening your spine halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, you're going to bend your knees, rounding your back, raise your arms. And exhale, hands to heart center. Those are our sun salutations for today. Next, you're going to bring your feet hip width apart. So inhale to lengthen. Exhale, you're going to fold forward, but really keeping your spine straight and these muscles in your stomach engaged for as far as you can go. And then once you go as far as you can without bending your back, you're going to let go of your hands and grab onto whatever's available. So that might be your shins, your ankles. If it's available for you, you can take your pointer finger and your middle finger, wrap it on the inside of your big toes, wherever you are, grab onto. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale to fold forward. Allowing the muscles in your jaw to release, your shoulders to relax. 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale to come up. And exhale, hands together. Forgot to mention, we hold each pose for 5 breaths. You're going to bring your left leg back so that your feet are like an arm's width apart. So your left foot's under your left hand, your right foot's under your right hand. And you want your right foot to be facing straight forward towards the wall in front of you. You want your left foot to be between a 90 and a 45-degree angle. Inhale, you're going to lengthen your arms. Exhale, you're going to just gently lean your weight towards your right side, and then eventually allow your right hand to move down. And here, you really want to press into the outside of this back foot, making sure you're nice and strong in your left leg, gazing up at your fingertips, and breathing deeply here. 1, 2. You really want to make sure your chest is open. If you'd like to go further down, you're welcome to, but it's really, you want your chest to be open and your shoulder to feel like it's not dying. 3, 4, 5. Inhale to come up. Exhale, now you're going to bring your right foot so it's between that 45 and 90 degree angle, moving your left foot so it's facing forward, so switching sides. Inhale, lengthening your arms again. Still drawing your stomach in. Exhale, leaning towards your left side, allowing your left hand to drop and gazing up at your right fingertips. Breathing here. 5. Inhale to come up. Exhale, switch back so your right foot's in front again, your left foot's at that angle. This time you kind of want to bring your hands to your hips, make sure both your hips are facing forward. Inhale, you're going to bring your left hand up. Exhale, you're going to fold forward, drawing your left hand down to the inside or the outside of that foot. So if your hand's kind of up here, that's totally cool. Just allow yourself to stay here and breathe deeply. If your hand is able to touch the inside, try to draw it towards the outside. If the palm of your hand is down to the ground, the outside of your foot, you can inhale, lengthen, exhale to extend. Wherever you are, 3 more deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. Inhale to come up. Exhale to switch sides. So again, left foot in front, right foot behind. Making sure both, so like if you bring your hands to your hips, you kind of want them to move so they're pointing forward. Left hand on your hip. Inhale to raise your right arm up. Exhale to bring your right hand down. So again, if you're working on bringing it to the ground, totally cool. Just stay here and release those muscles. If you're able to reach the inside, moving towards the outside. If your palms down on the outside, allowing your spine to twist. And only straightening your arm if you really want to. Wherever you are, breathing. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale. You're going to bring both your feet back to the front of your mat. Left leg back, right leg forward, same distance, same thing. Inhale, lengthening your arms. Exhale, maybe moving your foot forward a little bit. This time bending your knee. And again, you want about that 90 degree angle. It's okay if you're a little bit up here, but then you're going to draw your right elbow on top of your right knee. Inhale to bring your left hand up over your head. And just gazing up those fingertips. You want to be making a straight line from your left toes to your left fingertips. If this pose is good for you and you want to do something harder, you can draw your right hand to the outside of that knee, but you still want to make a straight line from your toes to your fingertips. Make sure your chest is still nice and open. And 5. Inhale to come up. Exhale to switch. Again, your left foot's at that 45-90. Pressing into the outside of that foot, kind of like we did at the beginning of class. Right foot's forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bending your left knee. Same 90 degree angle. Drawing your left elbow down. Inhale to raise your right arm up. And pressing to the outside of your back foot still. 5. Inhale to come up. And exhale back to the front. You're going to come up onto your back toe. And just kind of balance here for a second. Exhale to bend that right knee. Yeah, and you want to kind of stay strong in this leg as much as possible. Try to keep it straight. Inhale to draw your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And you're going to draw your hands together in like a prayer hands. And breathing here. 1. Allowing your spine to move towards the wall on your right side. 3. 4. If you're having trouble balancing, you can always come down onto your knee. 4. And 5. Inhale to come up. Exhale to switch. So left foot forward, right foot behind, up on your right toe. Inhale, exhale to bend that left knee, drawing your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, then opening up your chest so that your body is completely facing your left side. And again, coming down onto your knee if you need a little more balance support. 1, 2, even here, still drawing your stomach in and up and allowing your breath to start at the very base of your spine. 3, 4, 5. Inhale to come up. And exhale to bring both your feet back to the front of your mat. Hands together. This posture is called Samasthiti, which means equal standing. With your inhale, you're going to bring your left foot back one more time. That same distance apart that we had before. Maybe a little further, honestly. But we're going to turn your feet parallel to one another. So they're both facing forward. Inhale, hands to your hips, lengthening your spine. Still drawing your stomach in and up. Exhale, same as we did with the first forward fold. You're going to just fold forward, keeping your back as straight as possible for as long as you can. And then once you're there, you're going to release your hands and allow them to grab onto whatever's available. So maybe that's your shins, your ankles. If it's the ground, you want to bring your hands kind of in line with your feet. Inhale to lengthen your spine, gaze forward. Exhale to fold forward. 5. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release your hands. Inhale to open up your arms. Exhale, you're going to interlace your fingers behind your back like this. Make sure your thumbs are gripping one another really tightly. That's where kind of the longevity comes from of this pose. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look up. Exhale to fold forward, drawing your hands up over your head. One, 5. Inhale to come up. And exhale, you're going to bring both your feet back to the front of your mat. You're going to bring your toes and your heels together, making sure like your feet are kind of glued together in the center of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, drawing your stomach in and up. And exhaling to close your eyes. So before we do any crazy stuff like lifting our feet off the ground, I just want you to take a moment and notice where your body is in space right now. Try to notice which parts of your feet are touching the ground. And I want you to try to analyze if just standing still like this with your feet together, you're balanced. So try to notice if a little bit more of your weight is maybe on the right side than the left side. If your toes are taking a little bit more weight than your heels. And really just trying to center your balance, allowing the bulk of your weight to be equally distributed between each foot. And once you feel like you're nice and balanced, just with your eyes closed, you can open them. There are 2 points of contact with your foot on the ground. It's the balls of your feet right here, just below your toes, and your heels. So something that can be helpful for some people is like if you spread out your toes, it gives you a bit more grip on the ground. The other thing is that your core is actually really responsible for a lot of your balance. So if you're feeling kind of ungrounded, try to check in and just draw your stomach in and up like we usually do. So if you find you're having trouble, find something to focus on, like a physical thing on the ground to just look at. Alright, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, shoulders down and back. Inhale, grounding in with your left foot. You're going to draw your right knee up off the ground. You want to flex that right foot beneath you. And breathing here for 5 breaths. 1. If you'd like to try the more challenging variation, you take your 2 fingers, grab the inside of that right big toe, and lengthen that leg out in front of you. Wherever you are, 3 more deep breaths. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, you're going to open up that leg or that knee so that your right knee is pointing towards the wall on your right side. And another 5 deep breaths here. If you want even more of a challenge, you can look across to your opposite shoulder. You're going to straighten that leg and point your toe. 1 and 5. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Alright, balance part 2. Standing pigeon pose. So, you're going to lift up that right knee like we just did and flex that foot again. You're just going to bring it up and over your left knee. Again, make sure that foot is nice and flexed. So then you're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, just sit back like you're sitting back on a chair. And you should feel a stretch here in the outer hip rotators. If you'd like, you can kind of sink down a little more, drawing your chest down to your leg. You can even make it into a bit of a forward fold. It's really up to you. If you bring your hands down, straighten, it's more of a stretch. You have your hands up at heart center. It's a bit more of a balanced posture. Wherever you are, 3 more deep breaths. 5. Inhale to come up. Exhale, straighten that leg and come down. And then your other leg. We're going to do a vinyasa, which is kind of like the sun salutation, to get down onto the ground so that we're sitting. And then once we're sitting, we'll not have to do any more standing postures. So, actually we're going to do one more standing posture, and then we're going to get into the sitting posture. So, coming back to the front of your mat. Again, you can have your toes together, heels apart. Inhale, lengthening your spine. Exhale, shoulders down and back. Inhale to raise your arms up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to step or hop your feet back, bending into chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. You won't have to hold it for 5 breaths. You can just inhale to walk your feet back up to the front of your mat. Lengthening your spine halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Then you're going to bend your knees, making sure your back is nice and round. Inhale to lift your arms up in front of you. 5 breaths here. 5. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Using that same exhale to bend your elbows. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And then you can walk your feet in, so you're coming into a squat. Basically, we're doing crow pose. So, spreading your fingers nice and wide, putting them down on the ground in front of your squatting legs. Then you're going to straighten your legs just enough that you're feeling your knees kind of press in to your upper arms. Like, you really want to make sure you have good contact here before you start picking up your feet. So really pressing in your knees to your upper arms, gently moving your weight forward, lifting up one foot, and then the other. And then trying to balance. Okay, when you've done 3 and you're kind of tired of it, you can sit down on the ground. So coming into a plank, sorry about that, you're gonna bring your right foot up so it's in between your hands. And really nice and strong in that back leg. Then you're gonna bring your right, you can walk your right leg out a bit, and you're gonna bring your right hand to the inside of that right foot. Just kind of shift back and forth a little bit. If you'd like, you can try to bring your weight down onto your forearms, kind of opening up that right hip. Just a couple breaths here. And then coming back up, exhale, you're going to bring your left knee down. Inhale, come up. And if this is hard on your left knee, you can fold your yoga mat over and give your knee a bit more like cushioning. And for this posture, it doesn't matter how far down you go, it really doesn't. It's really how far forward you're bringing your left hip. 1, 5. Exhale to bring your hands down. Inhale to come up onto that back leg. You're going to spread your left fingertips really nice and wide on the inside of your right leg. And inhale to open up your right arm. Maybe bringing your hand to your hip. Just twisting your spine so you're facing the right wall. And breathing here. 1 and 5. Exhale, bring your right hand back down. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, chaturanga. Bending your elbows. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg. Oh, we didn't do our left leg up. Just bring your left leg in between your hands. And again, moving that foot out a little bit. Bring your left hand to the inside. Maybe coming down to your forearms and allowing this leg here to open up a little bit. Just for a few breaths. And inhale to come back up. Exhale to bring your right knee down. Inhale to come up. Bringing your right hip forward. 1 and 5. We're going to do the same thing we did on the other leg. So exhale to bring your hands down. We're just bringing your right hand down. Nice and stable on the mat. Inhale to bring your right knee up off the mat. Again, straightening that back leg, making sure you're nice and strong. Inhale to open up your left hand. Maybe bringing your hand to your hip if that's more accessible. Just breathing deeply for 5 here. 1 and 5. Exhale to bring your left hand down. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And exhale, coming onto your knees. And then sitting. So, we're going to do 3 navasanas, which is boat pose, which is core. So, the most accessible modification is like your toes are on the ground and you're kind of alternating feet. Like it's like a paddle boat. The next one is just your legs are bent. You want to make sure your spine is as straight as possible. Just kind of holding this version here. The most challenging version, you're straightening your legs and holding this version here. So, pick your poison. Inhale to come up. 1, 5. Exhale to bend your knees. Then we're going to do this quirky thing where you're going to bring your hands right in front of your hips. Bring your legs down. Inhale to lift your hips up. And if you're strong or brave, lift your legs up just for a second. Then we're going to come back up. So inhale, Navasana. 1, 5. Exhale to bend your knees. Inhale again, lifting your hips. And then your toes. And then coming back. One last one. Inhale, lengthening your legs. 1 and 5. Bending your knees. Inhale, lift your hips. And your feet. And that's it. That's all the core we had to do. Hand in hands back in the front of your mat. I'm going to come up onto your knees. Walk your feet back into a plank. Exhale, bend your elbows. Last vinyasa. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Come down onto your knees. And then slowly lie down. You're going to bring your heels up so you can just touch them with your fingertips. And take a deep breath here on the ground. Inhale. Exhale to press your lower back down to the ground. And on your next inhale, you're going to lift your hips up off the floor so they make a straight line between your knees and your shoulders. A straight line. 5 deep breaths here. 5. Exhale to bring your hips back down. And take another deep breath here. Maybe bring your heels a little bit closer to your hips. Inhale. Exhale to press your lower back down one more time. And then you're going to draw your knees into your chest. And roll side to side. Giving yourself a nice little back massage. And then we're going to come into one of my favorite poses called Happy Baby Pose. So you're going to grab the outsides of your feet and point them up towards the ceiling, kind of bringing your elbows to the inside. And just rock around a little bit. Just allowing your knees to move down towards the ground, opening up your hips a little bit, and massaging your lower back a little more. Reaching down with one hand and then the other, allowing the palms of your hands to face up towards the sky, releasing all the muscles in your legs, stretching out your neck, creating space in your shoulders. And then when you're ready, closing your eyes. I'm going to do a short yoga nidra, which is kind of like a guided relaxation technique. And you'll hear the sound of like a ringing bell when it's time to come out. Allow yourself to release. So starting from the top of your head, relaxing the muscles around your temples. Relaxing the area around your eyes. Releasing any tension in your jaw or your throat. Relaxing your shoulders, your chest, allowing your hips and your stomach to release. Releasing your upper arms, your forearms. Allowing each of your fingers to relax. Releasing the muscles in the front of your thighs, the back of your thighs, around your knees, relaxing your calves, the palms of your feet, allowing each one of your toes to release. until every single muscle in your body is able to find peace. If you'd like to stay here, you're always welcome to. Take as much time as you need to relax, but just so that I'm able to finish this class around 7. Start to deepen your breathing. Gently bringing your mind back into your body. You can start to initiate small movements, like wiggling your toes and the tips of your fingers. When you're ready, bending your knees one at a time and turning over onto your side, gently pushing yourself back up into a seated position. So, I like to close my classes in a certain way. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to draw your shoulders down and back. Inhale to bring your hands up to the center of your chest. Exhale to close your eyes. And before you close this practice, I want you to think of 3 things that you're grateful for. To picture 3 things that make you happy. And once you have them pictured clearly in your mind, whatever they are, as big or as small as you want, inhale to draw your hands up to the center of your forehead. Look up. Exhale to fold forward. Namaste. Namaste means the light in me. Susan honors the light in you. Thanks so much for joining me.